Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu salam, rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Tariq Khalid. I'd like to welcome to our program here at Sharjah Media Corporation. Getting closer to Allah and getting to know who is your Lord and worshiping Him in the way that He has taught us through the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Quran. And it is essential for us to understand these things and to put them in perspective. And that people who are not aware or conscious of this, that hopefully that by watching some of our programs, you will become conscious of it and that you will pursue this particular knowledge and implement it in your life for the sake of your own salvation in this world and in the hereafter. So first, let's start from Surah Al-Hadid. This is Surah number 57, verse number 20 from the Quran. The translation, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Know that the life of this world is only play and amusement, pomp and mutual boasting among you, and rivalry in respect of wealth and children. Just like the vegetation after rain, which pleases the tillers. Afterwards it dries up and you see it turning yellow. Then it becomes straw, but in the hereafter there is a severe torment for the disbelievers, evildoers. And there is forgiveness from Allah, and His good pleasure for the believers, meaning the good doers. Whereas the life of this world is only a deceiving enjoyment. This life of this world is only a deceiving enjoyment, Allah says. So the people who have focused themselves solely on attaining, obtaining, maintaining the things of this world with no conception of the hereafter are losers. And the people who think they can take these things with them are also losers. Just recently somebody sent me a film clip of, it was amazing, unfortunately, to see this happen now. We know about the pharaohs in Egypt of old. When they opened the tombs, they found that the pharaohs had buried their treasure with them and had even their slaves killed, thinking that there was going to be some type of hereafter where all of this would come into being for them. And that to see people today doing the same thing in their grave, they have people putting all these different types of utensils and things like their own TVs and all kind of things in the grave with them, which is unimaginable at this time. But this is the condition of society, that people are still steeped in this depth of darkness and ignorance. So we're speaking in relationship to this, to not be attached to the things of the world. They have been given to us by Allah to be used, to not be abused or not to abuse others for them or with them. And unfortunately, in many instances, both things happen. And those of us who have more worldly possessions than others, these things are a test for us. And we should always think about others who are less fortunate than us and how it is that we can assist them. And that is a blessing for us if we understand that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Qaf, Surah number 18, verse number 45 and 46, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And put forward to them the example of the life of this world. It is like the water, meaning the rain, which we send down from the sky. The vegetation of the earth mingles with it and becomes fresh and green. But later it becomes dry and broken pieces, which the winds then scatter. And Allah is able to do everything. Wealth and children are the adornment of the life of this world, but their everlasting righteous deeds are better with your Lord, for rewards and better in respect of hope. You know, those of us who live in the Middle East, in the desert areas, this is a reality. You go into some places, you know it's dry. There's nothing there, man. There's nothing. There's literally no vegetation. Rains one time, and you look and you see all this green coming up. Unbelievable to see this contrast. You see little creatures that you didn't see before, that they existed, but by Allah's permission now, due to this blessing from Allah, they come forth. So it's very clear for us in this relationship a distinction between night and day, or a distinction between sand and sun and growth of vegetation. It's very clear. And he says, well, brother, there are certain laws that make these things happen. Yes, okay, we're not in denial about these laws from the scientific point of view, that if certain things happen, there's a result of that. But we go back to the point of origin. Where did all of these things begin? The water, where did it begin? We can talk about a process of the development of the water, but where's point A? The vegetation, where's point A? The animals or insects or whatever there is, where is point A? Where does it start? Where did their existence come from? And we cannot get away from that. They didn't just appear out of nothing. It's not possible at all. And we all know this. But unfortunately, that man, of course, has become attached to these worldly things, obtaining them, possessing them, preventing others from having them in many instances, using them to oppress others, and all the other kinds of things, isms that exist in society. We have choices. You have to ask yourself, what is your choice? Are you going to be one of those people that you maintain the things of this world only? Or you're going to be one of the people who looks for his hereafter? In Surah Al-Tawbah, the Surah number 9, verse 38, Allah says more or less, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. O you who believe, what is the matter with you that when you're asked to march forth in the cause of Allah, you cling heavily to the earth? Are you pleased with the life of this world rather than the hereafter? But little is the enjoyment of the life of this world as compared with the hereafter. And these, Allah is calling for the people who, the other side, that you say you believe, but you're not willing to spend your time, your money, to support your belief. You're not willing to go forth to help other people, to encourage other people to the belief in Allah. You're not willing to sacrifice anything for the sake of Allah, to go to other people, even in your neighborhood, let alone go to someplace else in the world, or to support those who are striving to encourage other people to obey Allah. It is a very dangerous predicament to be in. And Allah says in Surah Yunus, Surah 10, verse number 7 and 8, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Verily those who hope not for their meeting with us, but are pleased and satisfied with the life of the present world, and those who are heedless of our proofs and evidences, verses and lessons, signs and revelations, those there abide will be the fire because of what they used to earn. So there are many people who say, well, I don't want to meet Allah. As though he could escape it. As though he can get away from meeting Allah. And the people will say, well, listen, brother, I'm busy. I don't have time for religion. I don't have time I'm busy, man. I'm busy making money. I'm busy in my profession, developing my business. I'm busy in developing my reputation, and so forth and so on. I don't have time to pray. I don't have time to sit and talk about Allah. I don't have time. I'm busy. So this will be your demise. You were busy. You were too busy. So when the angel of death takes your soul, you'll be one of those people who will not be able to answer. Who is your Lord? You will not be able to answer. Your grave will become a pit of hellfire. Simple. People say, oh, brother, come on, man. We don't believe in that. When you die, it's over. Finished. You're just bones. That's it. Bugs and bones. Finished. Well, that's how it appears. And again, that's for people without knowledge. And would you say, well, brother, this guy, he's a PhD in nuclear physics. What do you mean a person without knowledge? I said, yes, he is a PhD in nuclear physics. That's true. We respect that. But he has no knowledge of his relationship with his Lord. He has no knowledge of what's going to happen after his death. His science tells him logically, he concludes that, well, we've dug up some graves and we see there's bones and bugs. That's what science is saying. So we're saying to him, yes, that may be the case in terms of what you see. Your understanding and your science is very limited. And Allah allows you only to see that which is in front of your eyes. But we're dealing with the creator and sustainer of all things. And we believe in him. You don't believe. You have chosen another path. So you will suffer the consequences of your actions. Very simple. The only thing that's going to go with you to the grave is your deeds, both good and bad. And you will have to account accordingly. Think about it now while you have time. And the Prophet ﷺ said more or less, in hadith collected by Bukhari and Muslim, by Allah, it is not poverty that I fear for you, but I fear that the world will be spread out for you just as it has been spread out for those before you. And then you will compete for it just as they competed for it, and then you will be destroyed just as they were destroyed. So what we're seeing today in this sense is not the first time. It is not the first time that people have enjoyed the things of this world. There have been very, very wealthy societies, affluent societies in their time and in their context. And we even have documentation of this. And many of them were destroyed because of this, because they became servants of their desires, slaves of the desires. And Allah destroyed them. We have a choice. We have a society presently which has a tremendous amount of information. But also with that information, there's a tremendous impact on the minds of people for disbelief, starting from the oldest to the youngest. What choice? Or which do you choose? And I ask you this question. We all have choices. Which do you choose? We only have one life, which means we only have one time. The people who are saying, I was in another life, I came back, this is foolishness. This again is a trick of Satan to mislead people, to confuse them. This is his trap, one of his traps, to keep people, to lure people away from the truth. Oh, that person has knowledge. Look, he said so and so and so, and it happened. This is just a distraction. That's all. People are distracting people and calling people to themselves so they can be influential. They can have status. They can have wealth. These people are leading you to the fire. The person who's leading you to truth is the one who's calling you to Allah, calling you to your Creator, only to worship Him, only to obey Him in what He has ordained for us to obey. No matter how hard it might be on our desires, but this is the path to truth and righteousness, the path of true success. Any other path is a truth to hellfire. People say, well, brother, that's a very bold statement. So you're saying that only if people believe what you're saying, they're going to paradise. What makes you so special? What makes you appear to be so knowledgeable that you're superior to all of these people out here who are saying something different than what you're saying? Personally, I'm only trying to repeat what our dear beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ brought to us, and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His infinite mercy and grace revealed to him, and which was explained to us of what we should do, how we should do it, in order to receive the bounties and pleasure and mercy of Allah. And that ultimately we believe that this is the true success. And Allah will give this success to the believers. Those in disbelief, they will be trapped. They will be trapped in their disbelief. Sure, it's not something that makes me happy. It's very sad, actually. I've seen so many people who are in disbelief who in their disbelief, they're very firm and very committed to it. But they refuse to change, or they refuse to listen, open themselves to reason. And they're locked into this path of disbelief, which is the most dangerous thing that a person can have. So it is sad for us to see people who are gone astray from the belief in the one and only God and don't desire to worship him because their desires are so inflated that they've just become slaves. And they don't wish to see this. They don't wish for anyone to inform them. They want to stay locked in this path. And this path is truly, without question, the path of destruction, which will lead to an end that they could never, ever conceive of. So we're calling everyone to truth, justice, righteousness, obedience, submission to the truth, to the one and only Lord, the true success, the only success. People say, yeah, well, brother, that's good for you, but for me, man, you know, this is very hard for me. Ramadan, you want me to fast for the whole month? I like to eat. Another guy says, I'm married, man. I like to be with my wife. You want me to stop having relations with my wife except certain hours? You want me to stop eating? I love to eat. Why do I have to do that? So people ask these kind of questions. And in many instances, they don't like the answers because the answers are hard on their desires. They want their desires to be inflated all the time, to be pumped up, to be so-called motivated, as an example. They don't want to curtail their lifestyle. They don't want to submit to Allah and focus on this simple sacrifice, which is for their own salvation, for their own benefit. So if you're one of those people out there who has a big question mark on your chest about your belief system and what you're doing with your life and where you're going, then come to Islam so you will know where you're going, what's happening with your lifestyle, where are you presently, what is your present condition, what will happen to you if you do not change that condition. And we've been told what? Allah will not change the condition of a people until they've changed what is in their hearts. So if you are sad now, you're unhappy, you're depressed, you need to change your life. Turn your life to Allah. Open your heart. Submit yourself to Allah. Change your life. And you'll see an opening. It's like someone filled your heart with light. And this is the enlightenment. This is the nur, the light of guidance. So pursue this. Regardless of what your present circumstance may be, pursue the obedience of Allah, and you will never, ever be sorry. This is the real win-win. My name is Tariq Khalid. I'd like to thank you for joining us here at Sharjah Media Corporation on getting to know Allah, getting closer to Allah, getting closer to your Lord. Praise Him, thank Him in abundance, remember Him abundantly. Keep your lips busy for the sake of your own salvation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.